Well, we all know Eugenia Cooney has been on this crazy internet hiatus. She's been gone for over a month since literally January 1st, but she did pop back in and leave a little post over on her Instagram talking about how she wishes to be back soon. But just yesterday, February 5th, she ended up posting a video to her TikTok kind of explaining a little bit about why she's been gone, and I want to go over it with you guys. The very first thing that I noticed, and I hate to call this out because y'all are going to say I am nitpicking, but she loves to show her body, so I pointed out, I was like, she's in a hoodie, and that seems like a good sign because maybe she's understanding what the age restriction is about, and maybe she doesn't want to promote it as much now. But that was my initial thought, you guys, and I started watching this video and I was just going to watch it in private. I know other channels were going to cover it, but then I started to hear her denial just spiel through again, and I was like, okay, we're going to talk about it. So let's watch this video of Eugenia coming back to the internet, not necessarily coming back, because she's still going to be gone for a little while, to my understanding. But she did address her hiatus, why she's been gone, and in my opinion, she's still in denial about pretty much everything with her response. I only watched the first 30 seconds of it, and I was like, oh, we're going to talk about it. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and dive into it.
I just kind of wanted to come on here and say that I'm sorry that I haven't really been posting or been around. There's kind of just been a lot going on, and honestly I just haven't really been feeling mentally up to it, I guess, right now. Some of you guys might have seen or figured out that there's been some pretty big changes to my account right now. And first of all, I just want to be clear that I respect TikTok's decision and everything.
Honestly, I'm so sorry to say this. Please don't be mad at me, but poor thing. She has bad genetics, I guess, if Deb is. She gets it from Deb. I'm just going to say that. She's a very breathy individual. Maybe that's why she plays music all the time in her live stream, so people don't listen to the entire time. I do want to say I understand mental burnout, especially burnout for content creation, but it's not like she's doing content creation. She's not sitting down and editing videos and stuff, but she's just sitting down and talking on live streams and doing her makeup and promoting certain things. But the fact that she's bringing up the fact saying she's just not mentally feeling it because of the age restriction. I'm sorry, but I would seriously try to take into consideration the fact that she could just be mentally unwell right now. Maybe she just wants to take a break for mental health reasons and purposes. But I just don't believe that. I really don't. And I used to believe that maybe she wasn't a human being who went through human being emotions, but I truly don't believe that anymore. I really, honest to God, think that she is just really salty about this whole TikTok age restriction. And she's not going to do it because if she comes back right now age restricted, she is not going to make as much money. She's just not. A lot of her followers who donate now aren't able to watch her content. Even before this whole TikTok age restriction, I remember, and y'all remember, how many times her account would get banned and temporarily suspended, and she'd get it back, and she'd have to fix her username and her bio and everything all up again. Oh, it was such a repetitive process, but she ended up going live whenever she wasn't age restricted and her username wasn't correct. It was just user at a bunch of different numbers and letters. So she literally was salty in that live stream. She was like, well, without my username, I just don't feel like being here because people's not gonna know it's me. Hello, it's me, and I'm on live, and they should be here donating, but because they don't know it's me and they can't hop in to donate, I just don't feel like it's necessarily needed for me to be online. And that's not exactly what she said, but that's exactly how the whole live stream went down. And I covered that on my channel at some point, so if y'all want to go back and watch that live stream, I literally titled it Eugenia Cooney ends her live stream early due to lack of donations. And it's what happened, and it is what it is. But for her to sit here and say, I'm just not mentally feeling it. No, girl, your pockets aren't feeling it, and that's why you're not going to do it. But then for her to sit down, feel the need to make this video, just to say, I respect TikTok's decision. I really do. Girl, no you don't. You really don't. You're mad at them. You're mad at TikTok, and that's why you're not posting for them, bringing in their money on their platform, because you're age restricted, and if you're not going to be making the bank, you don't feel the need to be trying to bring in any type of money or revenue for TikTok. And that's just how I feel about it. One really big question I have that I can't seem to find the answer for myself in my own head, so hopefully somebody else can answer it for me. Why is this age restriction such a big deal for Eugenia? Why does she feel like she has to have children watching her content for her to be posting content? If I got age restricted today or yesterday or in a year, I really don't give a shit, because honestly, how I feel about it, I'm an adult, so I'd prefer for adults to be watching my content, and the topics that I cover really aren't for children anyway. So if I got age restricted, that wouldn't affect me or my content moving forward. So that just, in a way, proves my point that she does want to pander to a children audience. And let's just continue with the video, because I have been ranting long enough.
And I'm really sorry for anything that I may have accidentally done wrong, like on my end.
Denial, reflection, and self-annihilation is all I just heard with that. She said, I'm sorry for anything I may have done wrong, accidentally, on my end. And she even looked confused while she was saying it. It's like, girl, you know exactly what you're doing. Oh.
And yeah, I guess today I just kind of wanted to like talk about some of that stuff. So I guess right now, just like with all of this, like I just really haven't been feeling like that great mentally.
Missy, ma'am, Eugenia, Sullivan, Cooney, I just want to say you've been called out so many times before for this. This is the one time that there's been actual repercussions for your actions, and now you're just not mentally feeling it. Neither are any of those people who were affected by your live streams negatively. They're not mentally feeling it either. If this is Eugenia's way of addressing the situation and why she was age restricted, she's doing a terrible job of doing so, because she's saying, I may have accidentally, but who's really to say that I did it?
I know like there'll be some people that, you know, will get kind of mad at me not being around and think like I'm trying to scare people or like whatever, but that's really not the case. And the people that, you know, actually do care and stuff, like, thank you guys. I really do appreciate that a lot.
Now, if I would sit here and say I didn't give a damn about Eugenia Cooney, that would be a lie, because I think everybody should have the resources and be able to get help if they need the help. And she's a human being at the end of the day, and nobody deserves to be suffering in the way that she's suffering. But at the same time, I'm going to get a lot of slack for saying this, but she's been enabled, and she's enabled herself to the point where it's just, you got to choose one or the many at this point. And I decided to choose the many who were being affected by this negatively, instead of just Eugenia, who's being affected by it negatively, because she's promoting this negativeness and she's allowing it to affect so many people. And I just made a video, and I think that's why this video is fueled a little bit differently, and I try to be very sympathetic in other videos that I've done. But I just made a video talking about how minors were affected in her Twitch community, and that video is not monetized, so I don't want to talk about it too much here, because I want this video to get hopes to be monetized. But with that being said, she knows what she's doing. She knows that people are negatively affected by it. How many people has come forward to talk to her about how it negatively affects them, and she'll laugh in their face. She really will. And sometimes I question if she's doing it genuinely, or if she's just doing it because she's in denial, so she's gonna laugh about it because she's in denial about it. But the fact that she does it, and she's still doing it to this day, right now in this video, where she's addressing the situation by denying it. The irony.
That's just kind of like a lot of this like happening like so suddenly, and this app has been such a big part of my life like this last year. Pretty much I feel like all of my friends are on here, and getting to like connect with them and connect with people, it's honestly just been like the most fun and happiest that I've been online. And
again, it's not, I don't think this is something I really need to address, because I feel like everybody at this point knows it. It's not something that just happened suddenly. Sure, it did kind of happen overnight, and we were all surprised when we seen it, but this has been a long time coming. And I'm sure, I don't know, some of y'all might be new, but those who know that I've talked about all the time. I don't know Eugenia from her TikTok era. I know her from her YouNow era, in her Twitch era, in her MySpace era, in her YouTube era, and everything prior to this TikTok thing. I don't even like TikTok, to be honest with you. But this era, if she's saying this is the happiest she's been online, girl, that is sad. And these friends that you're boasting about, even now, girl, that is sad.
In like literally years, like especially where like I kind of had no warning with like anything to do with this. It just kind of was like very sudden. I just kind of, I guess, feel like I don't know, like I've been feeling pretty low. So I'm so sorry if this video is a mess, but I feel like me just kind of like sitting in my room being sad isn't really doing any good either.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Did you guys hear that too? In my opinion, it's like she said, okay, Miss Eugenia Cooney, did she really try to out-pout TikTok? Did she sit there and really think that if she went just dead silent for an entire month on TikTok, they'd be like, okay, just please come back. Like, we'll lift that age restriction. Just come back. Did she really try to out-pout them? She was really like, yeah, I realize, just sitting around feeling down about it isn't going to get anything done. Eugenia, I'm sorry you did this to yourself, and this has been a long time coming, and being age restricted, why does that affect you this bad? Also, I'm getting the vibe she's going to do like an experimental live stream to see if she's still going to get gifts and donations and how much she could make if she would go live with an age restriction, from her saying, well, I realize just sitting here being down about it isn't going to get anything done. So, is she going to try to go live? And is she going to start going live and covering up and hoping that it's going to be lifted? I don't know, but I'm getting like a 50-50 vibe of she thought she could outpout TikTok, and okay, shit, I couldn't outpout them, so I guess I'm just going to get back into live streaming.
So that's why I did just kind of want to like, at least try to make something for you guys. In the future, I want to just kind of like try to do things better and say that I'm sorry about videos that I think when I've put out, I wasn't really maybe like thinking much about. Looking back, I'm just kind of...
Well, that was really interesting. It's like she started to say she was going to try to start doing better content. And she doesn't think she's doing any bad content by the way that she's saying it. It's like, well, I guess I'm going to try to at least do better content. Then it's like she wanted to open up a little bit. And then she caught herself. She was like, well, looking back, I might not have been thinking that. And then it cut off. She's like, well. So she almost admitted to something, and that would have broke her delusional little bubble that she loves to be in. She said, looking back, I wasn't really thinking, well, and then it cut. And then she went on to just something different.
I'm just kind of trying to like reflect on things and just think of like, ways or videos that I can do better, like on my end.
I would be lying if I said content creators weren't all shitty people. I'd be lying, because content creators, we're human. We have controversial moments, we have slip-ups, we make mistakes, and when content creators do it versus somebody who isn't heavily online, it's public. That mistake is public, so you get more scrutiny for it. The things that you're doing, they're easy fixes. Stop saying it's healthy. Stop promoting it. Stop wearing clothes that show it off and promote it. Stop body checking. Stop pushing your content to children, which is this age restriction. It's all easy fixes. Girl, just zoom in on your face and do your makeup. That's what you do in your streams, right? Just wear a hoodie. Just don't say it's healthy. And I think, it's not necessarily the problem with Eugenia Cooney herself. Yeah, she's a bad person, in my opinion, too, sometimes. But again, she's human. But the way she promotes it, and the way that she flaunts it, and the way that she's showing her body and talking about it and saying it's healthy, I think, honestly, that's one of the biggest issues that we all have with it. I know that's the issues I have with it. And I feel like even if she does have this, a lot of people have it, a lot of people go through it. If she just didn't act like it was a good thing, I think it could get a lot more positiveness on her channel and her chats, and she wouldn't have to look for all these sketchy moderators.
And I just always do want to be clear to everybody that I never would mean any harm. That's never my intention. I guess a lot of the time I've just kind of seen it as like people just kind of like judging me about how I look, or like maybe not as big of a deal as like how some people would like take what I'm putting out sometimes.
I think honestly perception is the biggest problem here, because in my opinion perception is reality, and it's not how we perceive it, it's how Eugenia herself perceives it. She says it's healthy, but we have a second opinion. And again, perception is reality, so the way she perceives it is different than how we perceive it, so her reality is different from our reality, and I hope this all makes sense. But can we just, let's just continue with the video.
Times. I guess right now, you know, I'm just kind of trying to like work on myself and like see what I can do better, and hopefully not put out anything that, you know, could be like considered like triggering or like bad for anyone, because like it's really never my intention to like try to do that.
It's an interesting way that she worded it, that could be like potentially triggering or, you know, like bad for anyone. I think that's very interesting wording for Eugenia when she knows what she's doing. I think if we've learned anything so far from this Eugenia Cooney hiatus update video talking about where she's been and how she's not mentally feeling it, I think if we've learned anything, we can learn that she hasn't changed.
This has kind of been like the only place that I've kind of felt like accepted, like in so long online, and kind of like where people will treat me as a person. So that's why like I noticed some people, they might be like, this isn't even a big deal, like she's going on about this, but just to me, where, you know, like I've honestly felt pretty alone in things for a really long time.
Honestly, that is devastating to hear, because I understand where she's coming from. I recently have been feeling more alone than I've ever felt in my entire life. But as an adult, there's things I can do about it, and I'm taking proper measures. I'm making sure I'm being social. I'm making sure I have a life away from my family and my friends, and that I'm taking care of myself in the meantime. But the thing is, it's like, you're a full-grown adult too, and you can do these things as well, and your mother, I don't know if it's like, it's a weird codependency in my opinion that they have, and she, I've said it before, has been stunted from the start because of Deb. And Eugenia should have had a social life. She should have had real friends. She should have been out in the real world making connections. And I've seen where she's went to little parties and stuff, you guys, but that's influencer parties. That's not what I mean. And I don't know, again, I feel bad for her, but it's kind of hard to at the same time, because we all go through that and we all feel like that, but not all of us allow it to consume our entire lives for our entire lives.
And this app has just kind of really made me feel more accepted and stuff like that. So just kind of having like so much, it feels like taken from me so suddenly has just really felt like a lot. And I don't know, I just feel super bad about anything I like have done wrong on my end. And
what are you apologizing for? She literally doesn't know what she's apologizing for. How are you sorry for something you don't know what it is that you did? She said, so I am sorry for anything that I could have done, may have done, didn't do on my end. I don't know what it was, but it was something. And I am sorry for it. Girl, come on.
Just really want to try to like do better, do things better in the future, and for all you guys, and just try to make things like hopefully more positive and do what I can do like from my side of that. So yeah, I don't know, I've just been feeling like really like bad about everything. I think like none of us are perfect, and I'm just kind of learning like every day, like I'm really just a person, just kind of like we're all people.
I hope she's just wording this bad and she truly does plan on trying to make content that's not extremely harmful. I don't know what she's trying to get at here. Maybe it's just me. It's like she doesn't know what she's apologizing for, and then now she's saying she wants to make content that's not bad, and that she's just still learning things every day and learning to be a better person. But girl, this is stuff that has been brought to your attention for years. How long is it going to take you to learn this? Because like, girl, we gotta chop.
And sometimes I think I'm gonna make mistakes or, you know, mess things up, but I really have had such an amazing time on this platform this last year, and hope that I can just kind of like, you know, going forward, try to do a better job with things and hopefully have things like back to normal. I'm just kind of gonna try to like do better.
This is honestly like such a typical Eugenia Cooney apology video, and it's just done with the purpose and intention of just saving face at this point. So she's plotting, in my opinion, to come back on live, but I'm guessing cover her body how she's doing now and not talk about certain things, in hopes that TikTok will just blow this situation under the rug and then recognize her as like this brand new content creator who's like broken out from her harmful past and like recognize her again and lift the age restriction, which are you guys getting that too, or is it just me?
And I hope that you guys can accept that from me. I'm sorry that I'm not really getting into too much detail right now. I've just kind of, just kind of trying to, like, I guess, slowly get back into doing stuff again, and hopefully posting like more positive content for you guys and stuff like that.
What I feel like happened is she wanted to wait to see if this was like another TikTok ban, this whole age restriction. She was going to wait it out, see if they would lift it. Then they didn't lift it. Then she took some time and was like, well, maybe if I'd come back and not do that for a while, they might lift it. That's just what I'm getting here. And I am nobody to question the legitimacy of anybody else's apology type or answer video, you know what I mean? So like having a hiatus, I'm nobody to say this like isn't real or she's not planning on making less harmful content. But just in my opinion, we've heard this apology from Eugenia before, talking about she plans to make less harmful content and she doesn't mean to affect anybody negatively on her platform, even though she's done it for years after apologizing. And another thing, we've heard other content creators make the same type of apology when they make harmful content, just in order to save face.
And yeah, and I really love you guys so much. Thank you to you guys that do support me. It really means so much to me. I guess all I can try to do is be the best version of me that I can be.
I personally think that's all people want to see, is Eugenia being a better version of herself. And let's be honest, she does have a pretty diehard fan base. There are a lot of fans who would watch her if she would come back and start making crochet videos. If Eugenia were to come back and start making less harmful content, it's going to be interesting to see the route that she goes and what kind of content that she's going to be putting out. I'm sure it's still going to be about fashion and makeup, but I'm just curious to see how she's going to try to go about this new era for her. I'm also very curious to see what the chat's going to be like her first day back on live stream. I wonder if people's going to take this at face value and just really take into consideration that she might be wanting to actually start doing less harmful content and just find a new journey. Or if there's people who's kind of doubtful like me who, are very iffy about it.
I think like sometimes I'm just kind of so used to some people, not everybody, but some people just being so mean to like the point where I kind of feel like people just kind of see me as like a problem, and kind of forget that I'm a human, which is okay, I'm not trying to like say this just with me. I think like sometimes it's just important to just like remember that like we're all people.
I just want to say this real quick because I was thinking about making a video talking about this one reaction channel that does react to Eugenia Cooney, but they make really wicked content on her. I don't agree with the things that she has done online, but there's a way to go about addressing situations. You don't have to be entirely hateful and spew literal. It's gross content in my opinion. Like the whole channel just basically makes fun of Eugenia and how she looks having this mental illness, and I just think, okay, I understand that you don't like the things that she has done on the internet and she has addressed the children that's negatively affected by this, but that's not the way to go about addressing the situation. She is a human. Even though she's an internet personality, she's a damn human. And in my opinion, if you have a point to make with the situation or you have an opinion, great. If you want to make a statement, that's fine. But you don't have to be hateful and bully. And I've seen a lot of that being done. Not just to Eugenia, but to a lot of people, and it's never okay.
And then we're all just kind of learning. We're all going to make mistakes sometimes, and you can just kind of try to do better and learn from things. And just try to be kind to each other. I feel like that's really important because sometimes I just feel like being really mean and just attacking other people really doesn't do anyone any good.
I hate to say this because I agree with Eugenia here. I don't think sending hate or being harmful to somebody is any good, and I don't condone that by any means. That's why I always say it's not okay to bully people. It's not okay to be hateful. If you have a point, great, make your point, but you don't have to be gross while you're doing it. But I also have the argument that she kind of fostered this environment for herself by all the things that she has done in the past. I mean, it's really hard to forget such negativity.
So I hope everything I'm saying makes sense, and I'll probably like explain more or get more into things like soon. So, alright. Love you guys.
While I would love to think that she is going to come back and go about doing content creation a little bit better as far as her live streams go, she's not going to be as stubborn as she has been in the past about putting on a damn hoodie and just wearing that and not body checking nonstop. But hopefully she does plan to move forward with this age restriction and stick with it, because again, children don't need to be seeing this type of content. But if she does plan to come back and make more positive efforts to her videos and the things that she's doing and saying and promoting in them, you know, I'm there for that. I'd support that. But with that being said, I really still feel like she is in such denial, and I really do feel like she is just doing this to kind of save face, make TikTok be like, oh look, she's accepting this and she's gonna go forward in a positive manner. And then I think she's just doing this more so to see if she can get that age restriction lifted. But that's just my opinion, and I'd love to know your opinion, so let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, see you guys in the next video.